Oh, I'm so late today. Hold on. I had a really busy day today. I didn't get time to do everything. Hold on. We're almost there. We're almost there together. Ah, not you. Okay. Make that low quality. Copy. Back to the Discord. Paste. Okay, I'm alive. I'm here. Hold on. We're almost. Hold on. No, don't do that device. I'm just doing this. Usually I do this before stream, but we're already running really late. So just give me a second here. Okay. Move that over there. Do that browser. Go over to YouTube. Start music. Refresh. Scroll down. Click. Mute. Low quality. I got a system, okay? I got a system, and you can't criticize me for it, okay? That'd be mean. And we're not mean here. We're gentle. You know what? We haven't done Diana in a long time. Let's do Diana. Gotta do her a little justice, you know? Okay. Holy cow, I am so late today. Ugh. Hello. Hi. I'm Gary the Goo Boy. This is Kyrie, not Kiari. It has been mentioned to me. I did not get her name right. Okay. So this is where we're at with the game. What didn't load? A surface texture. Uh-oh. Wait, what surface wait, did I fuck up something here earlier? Failed to load surface of texture. Wait, what? Uh-oh. Wait. Null pointer, failed to load surface of texture. Textures, line 13. Exited with code 3. Uh-oh, wait, why is this not working now? Oh, I know why. I moved these out of here on accident, didn't I? Ha, I did. Boom. Okay, so what happened is I commissioned somebody on Fiverr, or I will. I just sent them some example arts. I'm gonna go back here now, and they message back. Wait, what'd they say? See all in inbox. Click. Thanks for reaching out to me. I'm interested. My price for full color illustration is 120, but if you have more to order, I'll start with 100 per illustration. Over 20 cards, we can make a new deal. Okay, so I'm looking at Fiverr for commissions of art. A la like this or something, right? That's the goal. And currently I can price it at about $90 to $110 per card. And that's a fair price. It's a 256 by 256 image. It is small, but it does take time, right? Hello, Gary. Have I had a day today? Definitely most in a good way. Oh, sweet. What'd you do? Eat some cheesecake? Okay, anyway, this is the game now. Oh, look how pretty it is. Ooh, so nice. So today, ladies and gentlemen, is Game Field Day, okay? Today is the day we actually have cards on the field, an XY location. They render art a certain way. It's gonna be beautiful, okay? It's gonna be wonderful. There are a couple of things I'm worried about right off the bat. I'm thinking whether or not we need the card art to be shrunk outside of the context of the game. That's my worry, but we'll get there. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is create a red square and a green square in the bottom right corner of the screen, which you guys obviously don't see because why would you? Or maybe we could do it in the top left just for testing, I guess. And then we click it. Or we can just have space. That's fine too. Okay, let's make a new module. It's time. I can't keep putting it off. It's necessary now. So add module, and it's gonna be field. So this field module, oh, this is gonna be so complicated. So it is going to be a module primary interface. We're gonna export the module field, and then we're gonna import the standard library. We're gonna import SDL, because we're going to use a little bit of SDL-ness. What else are we going to import? We don't need images. I think what we're going to do is we're going to build a struct. And this struct, I'm debating in my head how I want to arrange this. Maybe we don't. Basically, there's going to be well, actually, there will never be. Yeah, okay, so when something goes on the field, it only cares about whether or not it's a creature or not. That's the only Boolean test we're going to be testing for. Because if it is a creature, then it's going to be like, if it's an AoE fireball spell, then like cast fireball animation on every XY value that is on the field, which is every creature spot. So that matters to that extent. Import SDL header, import standard library. Is there anything else we're gonna have to import? We're not gonna do any font stuff, right? Am I? Am I gonna care about like displaying text on the field? Although I guess if it's like you click on a card and you don't have enough mana for it or quanta, it would be like not enough quanta. Would that go on the field module? I think that would go on the hand module. So maybe the hand module will just include everything that's like on the superficial level of interactivity on the game field module. I think that's a better way to do it. So I think we'll just stick it here for now. So what does this care about? This cares about like exporting a function, which is game field. Well, what are we exporting here? What exactly is this doing? Make game field? Well, what is the game field besides a collection of data that you fill in with information during the game? So it's a bunch, but it's almost like a struct, which is that you have a collection of XY values. I'm thinking in my head how I want to do this. You have a collection of XY values for where rectangles that are creatures are going to be represented. And then your hand module is going to be like the interactivity on top, right? So you click the card to do the thing. It's just the field itself contains all of the information that's static. It's never going to change. Naraku, hi, hello, how's it going? Wait, I haven't seen you here before. Oh, wait, I came on way too strong. Oh, geez. Hi there. But did you follow me yesterday? I hope so, because if not, hey, what a intro I gave you, huh? Sorry, platonic kiss, all right? I'm almost wondering if we're going to be exporting, like, a class, and we make the game field. But what's the point of that? Right? We just make the data when we initialize the game or when we load the game field, but maybe the game field would include the GUI. Are we already doing GUI stuff? I don't know how much I like that idea right now, but I guess that is what it is, isn't it? I guess this field module and the hand module, maybe they have more to do with each other than I thought. If the field module is only textures, it is the UI. I thought the field module would just be like a bunch of data that will never change from game to game. But maybe that is the case. Maybe we throw the UI in here as well. I'm debating how to do this. I'm just debating in my head how to store the information. So I think we do make it a class, and then we give it SDL F points. No, we make a standard array of type SDL F points, F point, And then in that array, we give it the value of row 1, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 creatures. And this is called row 1. Nah, I like lowercase. Row 1. Then we have standard array, SDL, F point. IntelliSense, please. This is going to be 8, right? Row 2. Let me think. Let me draw this in paint real quick. Hold on. Flashbang. Okay, so let me think in my head. So if the field is here and you summon 1 creature, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That makes sense. Then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it is 8, 16, 23. Yeah, 23 creatures. I was like, okay, I was imagining that in my head and I just couldn't like figure out which one was which. So yeah, you can have 23 creatures max, 1 shield, 1 weapon, and there is a max amount of relics, but it literally does not matter. Okay, sweet. Row 2, and for the sake of, I know we can make this better, but we'll just say row 3 here. It does matter that these are separate things though, and not just a next row. The reason why is because for anything that affects the field, for like row 1s and 3 are disabled. Like, let me show you a card that actually does matter here. No, I wasn't here yesterday. It's my first time here. Hello, Naruko. Naraku. Hello. You sound like a weeb. Now, I'm not a weeb, but I don't judge you, okay? If you like your animus, I don't judge. So elements, the game, flooding. So this is a card. Yeah, motherfucking flooding, water control. Okay, so this is an example of a card that we need to be careful about. Kills any creature along the edges of the field. Water and neutral creatures are immune. Absorb 1 water per turn. So it's like a running cost, right? The thing is that yes, it's a relic, but more importantly, it disables row 2 and row 3 on the board. Row 2 being above row 1. That kind of deal. So it's 2, 1, 3. Rows 2 and 3 are disabled, but row 1 is safe, so we have to differentiate between the two. So that's that. Okay, sweet. Then, do I want to call this game field? I feel like we just call this field. And then we'll call the instance of field a game field in the next thing. I also want to give this the texture for the background. No, that'll be permanent. That's going to always be there. Did you finish your previous project? I could show you. So the farthest we got on the bullet hell shooter was this. So the enemies can attack, they can hit you. There is collision. So you have this little thing here. We have our little mouse. Ooh, it's following the mouse. Ooh, look cool. You click. We shoot out little snowflakes. Oh, so cool, right? Solid 60 FPS. And then we press space. We spawn enemies that we can kill. Oh, it's so smooth and so nice. The thing is that enemies themselves can spawn bullets. They can do all that stuff. We can make them faster too. But that's basically what we got. It was more of a learning an engine kind of game more than making the game. Obviously, as a game designed thing, there's just like trivial stuff here. But it's more like we made the whole engine for this. So, you know, I'm proud of that. So that's a thing. Oh, if we hold space too. Wow. I don't know, I just thought that was funny. Okay, so get out of that. Get that out of my face. Now we have a card game. And you know what? I like where we're going with this. The card that you see right here is not going to be the card size in the game. It's going to be much smaller. But when you highlight where the card is and you want to see information about it, this is what pops up. So that was the goal behind getting all this made. Also, when you go up here to the corner, look at this. Boom. Game design. Oh, boom. By the way, you may think this is trivial, but this was not trivial, okay? The amount of shit you had to like change. Also, I like the bevels around the art. I don't know, I'm very proud of the work we've done so far, okay? I'd probably see this game on Steam for $5, but card games I'm a fan of. Row, a man of my heart. Okay, so we don't have the texture loaded into the field because that background texture, this wooden texture, is gonna be everywhere in the game. I just think it's pleasant. It's very nice. Okay, so next, so this is gonna be the array of creatures. I guess I should call this creature row 1, creature row 2, creature row 3, and then how many relics? Hold on, I need like a screenshot of elements of the game from back in the day. I do not remember because nobody ever had the max relics, but there must be one. Elements of the game, images, okay, there's a screenshot. Okay, let me just, elements of the revival. No, there's my man. Fastest deck ever. Unstable gas. Okay, so this was the original elements of the game. Now you guys can kind of see what I'm describing here. This is the first row of creatures. This is the first row, that kind of deal. So you can have, oh, this is perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, we'll just make it 13 then. 14, 15 for the weapon and armor, but that'll be its own thing. Okay, so 13, that was easy. And a lot of those were consumed by lands too. You're never actually gonna reach that cap, but it's nice to have a solid number at least. So, what is it? 7 in the first row and 6 in the second row. Okay, sweet. And then 6, this is gonna be relic row 1 and relic row 2. Okay, so that'll be the information for creatures, relics. We don't need a spot for spells, but we do need a spot for equip row. Just so we have 2 spots and it's an array like the other ones. It's so simple, but you know, why have 2 whole separate entities when we just have an equipment row? Is there anything else? You know what we could do is we could just call this miscellaneous row, where these are just floating point values. That's all this represents. So maybe we have 3 in our miscellaneous row. So it's a weapon, it's a shield, and it's a quanta value. So your quanta gets shown there, and it would be nice to have like a spot for that too. So that's nice. We also need standard array SDLF point values for our 12 elements element table. So that'll be all those floating point values. And then what else do we need to represent as a position in the game? The hand I'm not worried about yet. That's fine. That'll be its own thing. Oh, we need the enemy side of the field. Oh. I guess that does need its own XY values then, doesn't it? Okay. So we'll call this enemy. We'll just call this E. How about that? We'll just make a capital E everywhere. Hey cutie, Zippy. Hi, how's it going? Welcome to what ended up being largely data entry stream. There's gonna be a lot of loops here, boys. Hope you like loops. God, how many XY values are we gonna end with? So that's what, 15, 30, 9. 39 plus 12 is 51, 102. Anything else? You know, actually, this is dumb. I can make 2 field. I could have your side of the field and the enemy's side of the field and just recreate the values. Do I want to do that? I think I don't. I don't, right? I'm thinking like networking. If we have the same cards on the field and we switch our point of view because we're on the second player's turn, what has to happen for that? Well, you're never going to see the other player's point of view throughout the whole match, right? So does each player get their own instance of field? No. Each player does get their own instance of field, but that field also includes their enemy's information, right? It's just flipped. So when we design player 2, all we have to do is just flip this information with some temporary array values and just make it equal to each other so all the XY values are switched. That's easy. I can do that. Because this is all static, right? This is known. I could make these all static, actually. This is going to be known at, no, I'm sorry, not static. Const expression. This is, all these values are going to be known at, or they will be known at render time. These are never going to change. Done like 6 hours of racing on my sim and my hands are locked in the position of a steering wheel. My wrists are killing me and everything else is hurting. Ah! Wild. I think we're good here. Is there anything else I need to define? Is it going to load textures and all that, or is that going to be part of the hand? Is this going to be responsible? I don't think it is. Also, now I'm thinking, no, it's not. This is going to be like part GUI as well. Yeah, because like the elemental quanta numbers, that's like hand stuff, because your hand directly interacts with like quanta costs and everything. Same with art, same with logic mostly. This is mainly dealing with like animations and all that. So I guess this is fine enough for our purposes now. And then I think today we're even going to start on a hand module just to get that started. Okay, I dig it. Now, how are we going to give information to this? Well, what we're going to do is under our load game module, whoop, we're going to be we're going to import first. Import field. Then we're going to have a field, game field, game, local game field. Okay. Come down here to the very bottom. Game field. Okay, so what are we gonna do now? Well, we have our game field, local game field value. And then we have our dot, whatever it's gonna be, right? So why does it not giving me any options? Row 1. Oh, creature row 1. What? Is inaccessible. Oh! Well, it really is a struct, isn't it? Save it. Beautiful. Okay, so now I see everything. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have to duplicate logic as our last step, I think. So for now, how do we give values to each of these things? Well, what I think we're going to do is base it on the resolution of whatever we're doing. I don't know the resolution, do I? I guess I could just give it as another input. I already know it. Screen resolution. And we're only passing that as like a reference. So SDL F rect. It's an F rect, right? No, it's not. rect, and we'll call this resolution. So now we save it. Everything should still be running. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to have our local game field and our resolution values. So we're going to do some loops here. So for auto iterator is equal to local game field dot, we'll do creature row 1, I guess, dot begin, and then semicolon? No, comma. Fuck, semicolon. Then it's gonna go iterator is not equal to this dot end plus plus iterator. Then we start the code. Now we're gonna say, because this auto is not an integer, right? This auto is actually standard iterator of type SDL F point iter, or is it array iterator? It might be. Anyway, that's basically what it is. It's an iterator. So now we have SDL F point local value is equal to the pointer of iterator. Sweet. Everything runs. Excellent. Okay. L value. This is where it's going to be like a puzzly like logic thing here, I think. This is where it gets a little bit like kind of like juju boo, you know? A little bit of salt. Hello in Japanese, I've been learning. Oh, konnichiwa, motherfuckers. 5 streams. Wow, damn. Hello. So we have an X value and a Y value. So dot X is equal to some number. L value dot Y is equal to some number. The problem is that some number that goes up and down is not linear. In fact, it doesn't even like go up and down. It goes positive, it goes negative. Well, no, it doesn't go negative, but if it starts at 100, it'll go like 100, 150, 50, 125, 75, like that kind of deal, right? So it's not as linear. I wonder what he did for that. Because I know in my head how it spawns. I think the logic is actually adjusting the iterator, I wonder. Or maybe not. Either we could change the XY values, or in this case, I guess it's always going to be the same X value, huh? The Y value is always going to be the same because it's all one row. All of our arrays are going to have the same Y value, which is kind of cool. It is gonna be screen, I guess the parenthesis value of screen, or I guess resolution dot height divided by 4, and that'll be the Y value. We'll see how that looks, but that's changeable, you know? Then for the X value is the only thing that changes. So for now, the middle of the screen is just resolution dot width divided by 2. So that's the first value, right? Then we have to use, because iterator is not an int. I almost wonder if we have to make like a local integer value here. actually, is this really the correct way to do this? I mean, this logic is fine, but I'm thinking about like this, where we're changing the value of local value, but we're not actually changing the creature row begin. Am I screwing something up here? Line 263 needlessly copies every SDL point. Might want to use iterator to X instead of iterator Y. I can do that? Pointer must be a pointer, but has type float. Operand of pointer must be a pointer, but has type float. Yeah, iterator is not a SDL point value. Oh, wait, I can do that? Iter X. What? I can do that? Oh. I didn't know I could do that. Oh. Okay. 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 That's kind of cool. I like that. I didn't know I could do that. Well, you learn something every day, Mr. Sassy Fajita. Well, hot dog. I didn't know you could do that. That's kind of cool. Okay, well, solves that problem. So, that's always going to be the same. Now, there's two ways we can do this. Either, because, okay, we're going to bring up paint again. So this is how creatures spawn in Elements the game. And it's not super important, but it's important enough. You know, it feels good. When you summon a creature, it does not summon like this, right? You're not summoning linearly. That's boring, right? In Elements the game, you start with the middle. You go to spot number 5, 6, then you go down, then you spawn one here, then you spawn one here, then you spawn one here, then you spawn one here. So I'm thinking what the logic is there. Middle, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll say 4, 6, 2, 3, 5, 1, 7. 4, 6, 2, 3, 5, 1, 7. 4, 6, 2. Plus 2, minus 4. Well, let's do this. Plus 2, minus 4, plus 1, plus 2, minus 4, plus 7. Or plus 6. What the fuck? Is there logic there? Wait, I messed something up here. Oh, no, I didn't. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How do I do that in programming terms? Either that, or we just give XY values here onward. And we just, when we spawn creatures, we spawn it at this point first, then this point. But I kind of wanted to just have it in like one array, you know? Because I want the array where element 1 is this, element 2 is this, element 3 is this, kind of going on forward, right? So plus 2 minus 4, plus 1 plus 2 minus 4, plus 6. I kind of see a pattern, right? How did he even come up with this? Why is this the creature pattern? Is there something about like Unity that like does this? Plus 2 minus 4. Plus 1 plus 2 minus 4. Like that makes sense. I can do that. But then it's like the plus 6 that throws me off. That's what gets me. And the other two rows are easy. It's just that first row that's super important. I guess I could just do it manually, where... Well, no, not in a single loop, though. That's the problem. I can't just have iterator plus 2 here. It just wouldn't allow that anyway. Oh, wait, it would allow it. What the fuck? Anyway. Yeah, because we plus the iterator here. So maybe instead of plussing the iterator, maybe we just leave that empty and then we just do the math here. So let's do this. So 2 minus 4, 1, 2, minus 4, 6. Is there any logic to this? So like the 2, -4, that makes sense, right? You could have an algorithm where it's like, it starts on, if this is the algorithm, 1, 2, -4, 1, 2, -4. Then you just start the algorithm on step 2. So 2, -4, 1, 2, -4. Then you have the 6 at the end. Fuck me. That's indicative of those positions being part of a tree? What do you mean? Part of a tree? I mean, we don't have to match it, but it feels important that we do. I never heard of positions being part of a tree. Gary, I need your help. I have college tomorrow and I need an excuse to tell my lecturer so I do not need to go in. Dude, no offense. If you have a college lecturer that requires attendance, you have a shitty teacher. Listen, all right? How you know you have a good college professor? They don't give a fuck about you, okay? They're like, listen, I'm coming in to teach, and I'm gonna teach it, goodbye, okay? If your teacher needs attendance, then you have to go. It sucks ass, I get it, but you have to go. Okay, never mind, don't take advice from me. I didn't go to college, okay? I went into the real world and I worked retail like a motherfucker. Think about the middle position being the center node, the left middle being the left child node, and the right being the right child node? What? Hold on, back to paint. What are you saying? God damn it. So you're saying that we have our node here, so that it'll summon some position here. It'll go to this node. Oh, this is full, then it'll go to this node. Is that what you're saying? I'm not gonna do a bunch of if-then statements if that's what you're asking, okay? No, I don't like this. That's not how I want to design this. I wanted to be like, all of the iterators have all of the positions wrong. I guess I could just make all the values here and then just manually sort them out afterward. I mean, that would be like a cringe way to do it, but I guess I could do that. So we have all of the X values are correct, 7 through whatever. So we do have like this, and this is gonna be like, so like, I don't want to make that a temporary, but like whatever X. I do need a temp variable. So int temp var is equal to, we'll say resolution dot width divided by 8. Whatever number we pick. So the idea here is you would go, this X is equal to temp variable plus how many 50s do we need? Iterators of 50. wait, I'm thinking about this wrong. Hold on. I'm sorry. This is always going to be here. And then it's going to be added to temp variable, which is 50. And then temp variable plus equals 50. Something like that. And then at the end of it, and then on last iterator reset to 0, something like that. I guess we could do it that way, and then we have our sorting stuff afterward. It'd be kind of cringe, but I mean, that would solve our problem. It would recreate the feature without doing some tree behavior stuff. The behavior you would see would become a breadth first approach of that tree. Sorry if that's confusing. If you're curious about the tree thing, take a look at the example here. A coroutine generator? Isn't that like threading shit? A generator generates a sequence of elements by repeatedly resuming a coroutine from which it was returned. Each time a co-yield statement is evaluated, the coroutine places one element of the sequence. When the co-yield statement is of form co-yield ranges elements of RNG, the element of the range RNG is successfully produced the element of the sequence. That does work, doesn't it? Tree plus 1 plus 2, tree plus 3 plus 4, plus 5 plus 6. Tree traverse in order? What? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A. What? Tree, left, right, generator, traverse in order. Okay. Then you have a tree. Print out the tree traverse in order. X. Oh, I see. So that's what he's doing. He's going through a loop where he prints out the characters A through whatever, and it'll jump through this tree to print out whatever you need. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And it traverses the tree in order. That, okay, holy shit, why? So I don't need 3 standard arrays of 23 elements. I could have a tree. I could have a single tree of 3 main branches of row 1, row 2, row 3. And then of those branches, you know, A through whatever, numbers, 1 through 7, 1 through 8, 1 through 8. And then as you fill up the first tree, then you fill up the second tree, then you fill up the third tree. Oh, holy shit. That is kind of based. Okay. Holy shit. Fuck man, I'm starving, but it's midnight. Be American, get fat. So let's actually read what he's doing here, because the lines are just visual clutter, right? This is the actual text in the program. So what is he doing here? He's making an object type tree with character, calling it tree array. Then you define it with the values of, keeping in mind he made what the tree struct is. Character D, tree 1, tree plus 2. What does that do? T value, so type name T. So it's a template, he's overloading it. So this is character D. D is the value, so character D value. Then he has object type tree, the struct, with pointer left, pointer right, a standard generator, that's what we're on right now, const d, the reference to the value, traverse in order function, const, if left for const d, reference to x, this is a ranged for loop, then co-yield x. Co-yield value, if right, co-yield x. Okay. Syntax is a little confusing, but I get it. Trees are nodes that point to one or more subnodes, but usually used with binary trees, so 2 nodes. So this is what our tree would look like. Each tree object in there is actually just a node in that tree, weirdly named. Okay, so this is the point of the node, right? We're doing this for creature summoning, and I guess relic summoning would have its own tree. So you would have your creature spawn. Where does it go? Well, what it would do is you have 3 branches. You would have branch 1, branch 2, branch 3, each of those representing the rows they're in. Then under each branch, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, which makes 23 total, right? So the idea here is that if you spawn a creature for the first time and you have nothing on the field, then you would run spawn creature function, which would ask this where it should be spawning on the field, right? All of these points, by the way, just contain XY values. That's all these are. So what you do is you're like, okay, program, I'm summoning a creature. Find out where that should be. So what it'll do is like, okay, do you have any creatures? No. Okay, row 1. Okay, do you have any creatures? No. Okay, spot 4. Or maybe even like this spot kind of deal. We just specify that it's, you know, in spot 4 as the XY value is concerned. And then it just kind of fills up the tree. And then once this is all filled, then it's like, oh, okay, you have a row full of monsters. Let's go to row 2. Oh, you have 2 rows of monsters. Let's go to row 3 kind of deal. Why would this need to be a tree? The problem we're having is right now, I have a bunch of arrays for every single like possible thing we need to have an XY value for. So 3 rows of creatures, 2 rows of relics, 1 row for miscellaneous for like swords, shields, and equipment, and your quanta, which is an item on the field. Then you have your 12 elements as part of the elemental table. I'm just remembering this now. We need a standard array for, is it going to be an array? We need a spot for health. That's going to be a thing. And then we have to duplicate it because the enemy spot is going to have all those values. So as we were making this, I'm like, wow, this seems really inefficient. There's probably a thing programmers have already figured out to do all this. And that's where we came across trees. That's kind of solving our problems. Hell, if anything, we could even make the tree even bigger by, because we already have a Boolean value for every placeable object in the game of, if we jump back here to our card module here, we already have a Boolean value of is creature, and both relics and creatures are creatures, just, you know, is a creature or not. So the idea is that I guess we could just have a whole separate tree here for is creature true? Okay, summon it like a creature. Is creature not true? Okay, summon it as a relic with its own 2 rows, you know? Of, what was it? 6 and 7. So like, that's the logic here. So like 1 Boolean value, 1 Boolean value. That's kind of what I'm thinking we might end up doing. So in other words, anytime we need to summon anything on the field, well, now I'm thinking we could even make this like for equipment. So it's just like, oh, we have a little branch over here for just equipment. Elemental quanta would be separate from this, right? There's no reason to have that as a placeable like object on the field. Well, like that's what I'm thinking we do. And then we just have one giant function that's like replace the thing and we just never need to worry about it again. I'm thinking that seems to be the wise thing to do. Does this make sense? An array of arrays? Yeah, we could do that. That just means he can just calculate it on the fly without any data structure. He just needs to do the math. Yeah, but I feel like, isn't this like a great use case for trees? What's a better use case for a tree than what we're doing right now? Is there like, what is the usefulness of generator? Or unless you're talking like, are you talking like millions? Is this like some AI shit where you have like billions of options or something stupid like that? Trees are for filtering lots of data. Yeah, but couldn't you make like a trivially small tree like this or this, where you have 3 branches, and then you have 3 branches, and then you have 2 branches, each having 2 branches. Like, isn't this like a use case for a small tree because we have so many arrays that need to be like iterated through? Trees are good for file systems and hash tables. So why did Elements the Game use a tree? Elements the Game did it, and they did that shit in Unity with a box of scraps. Okay, we're talking like 2009 shit. He did it in a tree. Why did he do it in the tree? That dude's a math major. He fucking does like, I remember him doing like calculus in like the IRC chat room where he was talking about like acceleration and shit. I'm like, holy shit. I mean, making a tree like this would be pretty cool, right? Right? Because we're never gonna change these, so this is hard-coded. But that's fine, right? I'm never gonna want to change it. Trees can be used for things, but you're talking about physical placement of objects, right? Not for decisions? Depends on how we implement this. The end result will, all of these endpoints are just XY values. That's all I care about. So like, we're gonna, well, it's not just for placement of creatures, right? Basically, if 3 of these elements are filled with XY values, well, they all will be, but I guess I could have like a switch where it's like, is creature occupied in this spot? Yes. What I could use this tree for is like, launch fireball animation at every instance of is creature true, you know? And then like, okay, is creature true? Okay, is there a creature in this spot? Yes. Okay, play animation. Like that would be pretty easy to implement, right? This needs to be calculated more rather than using a tree or any data structure. What do you mean? Are you talking to like what we were doing before, which was like using like iterator loops where we go through every single array we've listed, which is going to end up being like what? 14 arrays? Well, almost. It's going to be different. It's 7 arrays, but whatever. We iterate through 7 arrays with custom values for all of them. Is that really a better thing to do here? It feels like trees made for what we're doing here. That's not what I mean. What do you mean? I feel like in this instance, I almost wonder, this is creature 1, so I know it'll be 7. Oh God. And then we just reset temp var at the end. Well, in any case, we have to do the math behind it, so I guess we'll just do this. So let's do SDL raw SDL set render draw color renderer. We'll do the color red. $255 being visible, and then SDL draw SDL render Render draw F point. Point F. And the point being renderer iter X iter Y. So let's see how well this works. Go. The program crashed. Oh God. This ends in the end, right? Oh, I never plus the iterator. My bad. Maybe that's why we were stuck in a forever loop. That isn't helpful. Go. Are there black dots on the screen? Does anyone see them? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, they're not black dots. They're red dots. Why don't I see them? This is like an illusion. I can't tell what's in the game and what's just a speckle on my screen. Or what's like on the wood. Are my dots even getting rendered? Hold on. You know a better way to test this? It's \n, right? And then semicolon. And then come over to game loop. Don't see out all of the shuffled values. Wait, where's my don't see out that. Oh, view deck, that's what I'm doing. Game loop, view deck. Okay, go. Okay, so 240, 270. So it is being rendered on the screen at 240, so like somewhere around here. Am I crazy? 240, 290, 340, 390, 440, 540. So it's somewhere up here. It should be screen resolution Y divided by 4, so it should be like on this line. I guess we can just not render the background right now. That doesn't help. It blinks red. What the fuck? Oh, it's clearing the screen. I shouldn't be drawing this here. Oh, I'm dumb. Okay. Ha 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 ha. Okay, I see it. I see it. So now we're gonna paste that. This is now gonna use the global renderer. And we have the global renderer. And then we have data. Hold on. Data list dot game field dot creature row 1 dot fuck. Oh, do I have to? How are we gonna do this? Dot begin. Dot. Creature 1 element 0 dot x. That is a long ass array title. Dot y. So it does render the dot. Be like around here. Well, let's get out of that background then. You're gonna see red here, maybe. I'm sorry if you do. Oh, you don't see any red. Wait, what the fuck? Huh.
That's a problem. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Hello. It's not super useful for determining where cards in hand are, right? So a certain set of cards, you can go like this between these 2 points. You can divide by a certain amount and figure out the gap, and then determine if the gap is too small, then put it on the next row. That seems like a lot of unnecessary calculation. Wouldn't you just have multiple arrays, and if the array is full of elements, then just jump to the next array? That seems like it's a less costly resource. Good night. I'm heading to my bed so I can dream in German because it's getting late. Okay, have fun tromming. Are you Irish, Goo Boy? No, I'm not Irish, you bastard. I just talk like Game of Thrones. You muzza. What if you have more cards? It's really tedious. Calculations are cheap. Data structures are more expensive. Really? Well, let's think about this. We have a field of 23 creatures, right? We want to summon a creature. So it'll go, is creature true? If creature is true, then... Hold on. So the idea is we have a 23 creatures. Is creature true? Then it'll iterate through 23 elements. You're saying that it's easier for the computer to run a calculation about like dividing between certain points if there's room for something and just fit it if there's room versus just iterating through like 3 arrays of 23 elements. I think it's faster to iterate through an element, right? Decision trees? Well, not so much well, I guess for like computer logic, but it's only going to be a decision tree with like what? Almost like 200 elements? Let me think. I mean basically, right? It's going to be like it's going to be, if we did a tree system, it's going to have about 200 elements going through like 8 branching paths, because it's going to be like, is enemy or is your card true? Okay. Is creature true? Okay. Go to row 1. Are any spots open? No. Okay. Go to row 2. Spot is open. Spawn that in spot 3, you know? Or like, is quanta cost true? Go to quanta cost, subtract 3 from the integer in that value, so you display whatever number is via the font, you know? It's just a better idea generally. Are we sure about that? Because the more I think about it, the more I think the tree is the wiser way to go. Because, like, even playing animations, right? Playing animations would be a lot easier, so you don't have to, like, I don't know. I'm like rocking back and forth in my chair right now. Partly because I'm tired, and partly, oh my god, I'm yawning so much today. Oh, it's a disaster. Sorry, I was itching my eye. That's why I look like I'm having a seizure sometimes. The better tactic is one that makes the most sense to you. But what if I'm a dumbass? Did you think about that, you dick? Because guess who's debugging? Yeah, but I feel like this is the better way to go, because everything else about the game, particles, like game logic with animation, where creature, it's not just spawning creatures. It's like, if I have a tree here, we can reference for like, is this thing going? It like takes care of all of that. Anything quanta? Okay, that just goes down its own branch for whatever, or fuck, it's actually not even here. Is it a shield? Okay, go down to the miscellaneous equipment branch. Okay, go down to the shield branch. Oh, there's already a shield there, replace it. Like something like that. Where if we just have different trees, it would help so much. But I feel like it's gonna be a nightmare to get this all set up. This is all for an XY value? Well, not necessarily. Now we can kind of expand it a bit, because if there's gonna be like if there's gonna be like a whole new branch for hold on, that was ugly. Fuck. If there's gonna sorry, Jesus, I yawned for like half a second. I messed up. Hold on. There we go. If there's gonna be like a whole new branch over here for like the 12 elements, well now if we casted black hole, which sucks 3 elemental quanta out of every element, now I can be like, okay, let's store ints here, where the int is just like a representation of how much quanta you have as a player, not the actual logic behind it, but more like the display values for the players. So it's like every frame we affect this tree, we have to build a new font texture for whatever number you have, that kind of stuff. So the idea is that you would suck all the quanta out of every element, but you would reference this tree and just subtract all of these values by 3, never going below 0. Some dumbass, likely a 2006 Time Person of the Year, will figure it out. Oh, that's an old meme, sir, but it checks out. It's gonna get really complex to encode this IMO, not to mention, what? Don't not mention it. Mention what you're gonna not mention. You can't just be like, I would never tell you this. And just like cock block them. I do. There's a lot of places I'd love to see too. Do you? Well, I flew to New Zealand. Sorry, I'm flirting. I got priorities, chat. Last year. So that was fun. But I think I want to visit East Coast, USA soon. There we go. That's the librarian, by the way, I keep telling you guys about. We're chit-chatting a lot now. This is when I would have components and system, not gonna lie. What does that have to do with this? Wait, what? I know what ECS is. Entities, component, systems. I understand what it is, but what does that have to do with anything we're talking about? I'm not hating, I'm just like genuinely curious. Because this whole tree already does the logic for us, right? It only goes down the middle path if it's a creature. It only goes down this path if it's like equipment. It only goes down this path if it's like a relic that's not equipment. It only goes down... Actually, this 2, I just realized this 2 should be like over here as like its own thing, but whatever. It only goes over here if it's like is quanta or something. And a lot of this is just visual like elements, right? It's not actually keeping track of this integer here. It's just more like the display font data, which we already have in the game, in the engine. Yeah, ECS makes sense. I just vibing with you, at least for the stuff for the types of cards. What? How does that have anything to do with ECS? Well, let me erase this as a distracting. So what does ECS have to do with this? Like, I'm looking at it, trying to think about how I could implement, like, what, like, philosophically is this, like, ECS about this? It only has 3 branches. Well, 3 main ones, right? Is creature, is relic, is quanta data. How does ECS implement with this? At least for the stuff for the types of cards. But we only have 2 types of cards. We have creature, card, Boolean is creature, true or false. That's the only branch we would have. Does that really need a whole component system? Relics and creatures are the same card. It's just the information you display on the card and mechanically what it does on the field, which is, guess what? Going to be based around Boolean. Three components? A component is just a struct anyways, a data class? We already have it though. You guys are overcomplicating this. This is a creature with a Boolean value. Relics are a creature with the opposite Boolean value. And if we want to make it super simple, we don't even need to have this. We don't even need to have anything with quanta font related. We can make that its own thing. But like, just these two, this does not need to be separate components. These are just the same class separated by a single Boolean value. A component is just a struct anyways, or a data class. Yeah, but like, if the data class difference is just a Boolean value, is it really that different? Does it need to be a whole different class or a struct or whatever? I feel like you guys are making this way too complicated. I think a tree is the correct thing to do, at least when it comes to like describing XY values about like where arc gets put and all that. What you're trying to describe is actually sounds a hell of a lot like a component system. Actually, now that I think about it, different branches for different types. I'm sorry, we are clear about what my goal is here, right? I think I was right. I think I have the best take on this, where this is a creature with a Boolean value true. This is a creature with a Boolean value false. And depending on, we have separate logic in the game for what that means. Like creatures with Boolean value false means that you don't display the stats. You can't attack it. It's a relic, right? Whereas this is Boolean creature true, so it can be eaten by an Odiug. It could be cast with like a spell to damage it, right? So there's a bunch of logic here that separates the two, but as far as the tree is concerned, all we care about is the XY value about like where the art gets placed on the field and like a rectangle value based on that XY value to like make it clickable. If anything, these might end up being FREX. That might be what we change it to, but we'll maybe change that. Glad you know logic gates. Am I correct? Code Toil, hello. Again, I think I have this right. Calculation is all you probably need for each thing, though. I think you're trying to combine a lot of behavior in one thing. Well, it's either this or we iterate through like 13 loops, okay? And I'm not completely opposed to that, but, you know, maybe not everybody is on board, you know? Also, this SDL quit and SDL mouse motion, this actually does exist in our system. It's just, here, watch. There we go. Now it reads it. IntelliSense is a little bit finicky sometimes. It's just when it comes to enumerated values, for some reason IntelliSense doesn't like them, but they are real values. Like the game does render, right? You gotta spend a minute to come up with an algorithm to do it instead of hard coding it. Well, that's the thing, is that that's why we ended up where we were. I was like, man, it's really hard to like load game, scroll up. Because as we were making this, it was like, man, it's really hard to iterate through this, because either we have to do some complicated algorithm to figure out the X value, because if every row is separated by a row as an array, then the Y value is always the same. But the X value is going to be changing, but it's not going to be summoning creatures left to right. So either we have to shuffle the algorithm, not shuffle, sort the algorithm in a way we want, or we change the X value, iterating through the algorithm with a complicated, or iterating through the array with a complicated algorithm. But either way, we're going to have a complicated algorithm, or we have a tree. Make a pipeline, data, function, and if each function is a loop, that's fine. Huh? I'm trying to think about how we would do this. Because for those of you joining now, this is the problem we're having, okay? So ignoring all this, if this is like the game field, right? And it's split in half and all that stuff, our creatures do not get summoned left to right. That's not how that works. It's automatic, but it goes like spot 4, spot 2, spot 6, spot 3, 5, 1, 7, in that order, right? So the way it works is it's spot 4 to spot 6 to spot 2 to spot 3, 5, 1, 7. And what we were talking about, it's wow, that is a tree. That looks like a tree kind of going on, right? To reverse engineer what elements the game is going on. So we decided to find the differences between them. So it's 2, 4, -1, 2, -4. Sorry. -4, 1, -4, 6. That's what it does between them, right? So how do you get an algorithm to do that? Like 2, -4, then 1, 2, -4. I can do that, but then the 6 gets thrown out there. I'm like, what the fuck? Why not a random function? There's an equation for something like that? Is there? That's such a random series of numbers, though. How do you end up with the 6? What are you talking about? It's the order we summon creatures in. Now, I guess what we could do is if we really wanted to be like a dick about it, we could just have everything in, you know, order where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and just code them 50 pixels apart like they're in game, and then we sort them separately to be this order. We could do that and just hard code it in, but wait a second, does he just switch values? Hold on, I saw 1 and 6, so 1 and 6. Wait, 5s are the same. 7s are the same. Oh, wait, what? 3s are switched over one spot. 2s are shifted over one spot. 4 is shifted over one spot. 1 is shifted back one spot, and 6 is shifted forward. That's weird. Hold on, is there a pattern here? Am I dumb? Is there a pattern going from 269 to 270? You have 6 random numbers. Get a random number function returning between 1 and 6. Remove prior number from random list. No, it's not random. Yes, it's always the same order. It's always 4, 6, 2, 3, 5, 1, 7. That's like, it's important we do this, by the way, because Elements the game doesn't allow you to like drag and drop cards on the field. So having a predictable like where they are on the field does matter. And by the way, sorry, my neighbors are making a lot of noise above me. And by the way, it also matters because when you hit, when all of the creatures in the game hit at the end of the round, they always go in the order of spawn. So heads up. Isn't the pattern just 4, 4 plus 2, 4 minus 2, 4 minus 1, 4? What? 4 plus 2, 4 minus 2, 4 minus 1, 4 minus 3? 4 plus 3, 4 plus 1. I missed one. Wait, what? Hold on, what's the additional value there? 0, 2, -2, -1, +1, -3, +3. Oh, we're getting somewhere. Hold on. +3, -2, -2. Sorry. This is +0, +2, -2, -1, +1, -3 +3. That's the numbers there. Well, does that help us though? That must mean something. Just joining and I don't really understand what you're talking about, but if it were me, I'd just hard code the dang list. No, it's a matter of principle, okay? It's like a programming test. I think it's not even a programming test. It's like a logic test. Also, I don't get why you don't just hard code it, because it's the chat you don't understand. Okay, if I have to explain it, you're already lost. You're a lost cause. Okay, it's a matter of a challenge. Okay, what was he doing here with 4s? But the 5 stays the same. Wouldn't you just go by 5 logic then? So this would be 5 - 1, 5 + 1, 5 - 3, 5 - 2, 0, 5 - 4, 5 + 2. Now that does look worse, doesn't it? I could do this. This is an algorithm, right? I could do that. The real kind of flip, though, is I wish this was -2 and this was +2. That would make it so much easier. Use absolutes? In what way? There's absolutely no reason to define a pattern unless you need to generate more, but if you generate more with that pattern, it will eventually repeat. But it wasn't an accident though, right? In the original Elements the Game, a Flash game made in Unity in 2009, they did this pattern. Why? Why did he do this pattern? We decided it must have been because of a tree logic, and that's how that whole conversation started. But is that the case? Is that why that happens? Because it evenly spaces the spawns? Yeah, but was it hard-coded? Can you show how cards work in the original? Ah, fine. Fine. We'll show you how cards work in the original. Elements, the game. Revival. Which is not a good game. Okay, so this is the original. This is new. Sorry, this title screen. Ignore that. So this is Elements the Game. Play as a guest. So this is flawed. Obviously, there's a bunch of rendering issues. There's a bunch of like graphical issues, but I just want to make sure they have everything else right. What's a thing that spawns a lot of creatures? Death? No, death is buggy. I guess we'll do life. Okay, so we're gonna play level 1. So now you guys kind of get the point of the game here, right? So he spawns 2 relics. I have mine. I spawn 1, 2. The play thing wasn't there before. You just clicked it before. 3, space. Okay, so we have 4 quanta on the field. I don't know what's going on. Oh, it's bugged. Sorry. Okay, so we have our, okay, play. So here's how creatures spawn. Okay, you guys ready for this? I have my first creature here, okay? A cockatrice, a 4/4 for 3 mana that for some reason is buffed. It was not a 4/4 in the original, but whatever. Play. It spawns in the middle of the field. Beautiful. I play another one. It spawns in position 6. So that's what I was meaning by where positions were. So this is position 4, this is position 6. And the turn. So that's his position 1. Okay, so now I play an Ash Eater, right? Look where it spawns. Position 2. Okay, well, that's cool, right? So then it goes to his turn. This is a terrible version of this game. It's like a bootlegged version, but whatever. So then we play another Ash Eater. This Ash Eater will get played right here. So what, also, there's a way bigger gap here than what it was originally. So like, this is my thing, right? Is how do we replicate this? You know? Sorry, back to learning what a string is in Python. Gary, can we get an interview with you and the creator of Elements the game? Yeah, if anybody can find him. He's been long gone, dude. I don't know what that dude's doing now. Maybe he's like a math engineer or something. I want to play another creature so I can actually show you guys what's going on here. I want to play a next row creature. That's what matters. Oh my god, he killed a creature. Fuck. Oh, this isn't helping. Anyway, this is like the basics of what we're building in my head. It's just, this is a really crappy version of it. It's so buggy and terrible. Ugh. It's so bad. Why am I ending his turn? Empathic Bond. Heal for every creature you have. That's an old ass card is what that is. So yeah, now you guys get what's going on, right? Okay, I get it. You're right. It's a tree. Detached head state. I don't see you here very often, but boy, oh boy, when you're here, you're based. You're telling me I'm right? Chat, I tell ya. Some people. I'm trying to draw another creature so I can show you guys what happens, but... I know you guys don't see my hand. It's okay. There's nothing in it. Okay, we won. We spin a wheel. Wow, that is trippy. Jesus Christ. Also, yes, Stone Pillar does in fact look like a dick. That has happened. That joke has been made many times. So we go to the bazaar. We can buy whatever cards we want. If you guys want to see some VRT art in game, there you go. Oh shit. Beautiful. Beautiful. That card, by the way, in the top right, that's actually the same exact rendered size cards we have in our game. If I didn't fuck all this shit up. There we go. See? Same size card. So that's our card, and then, this card. See? Same? How about that shit? Almost like I planned it. Ours is a little longer, but that's because I have a bigger text box because it was a little too tiny. IMO. But yeah, same card. Man, looking at this bazaar is just bringing back so many memories of just looking through this. By the way, this isn't every card in the game of every element. This is just like the common cards. In this game, you can just get common cards for pretty much for free. They don't even suck either. Like Fallen Elf? Jesus Christ. Lycanthrope? Minor Vampire Gargoyle? Phase Dragons? Scions? Sparks? Light has a lot of great common creatures. Golden Dragons, Guardian Angels, Pegasus, Hope. For some reason that's a common card, Hope. Yeah, there's a lot of cards. Okay. Did I just close out a Visual Studio? Oh, no, I closed out my program. Oh, Jesus. That scared me. For work, I code a lot. I'm supposed to take online classes on how to code. Do they call it code? Like how to code? Isn't it programming? Don't you feel better calling it programming than coding? I'm up to strings and variables, complex stuff. Oh, yeah. In C++, I mean, I don't know how it works in Python. In C++, you have standard string, because if you just say string, the whole program breaks. Unless you use namespace std like a weirdo. and then you have a string, but you can't just go string hello. You actually have a string variable name, which is then given hello. And there's your string. Beautiful. Oh, but I guess you can use this string. Oh no, you can't use that string. What's a C style string? How do you oh my God, I forgot how to do a C style string. It's been so long. At least I know how to call functions, unlike the senior dev. Oof. Sounds like a Python programmer. We make fun of Python programmers here, okay? We worship the Council of C++. Character pointer for a C-style string. Is it? Holy shit, I'm so sorry. You have to understand, I've been learning C++ 23 my entire time I've been learning C++, okay? We are on some like module shit, okay? If you ask me how to make a header, I would be lost, okay? I know how to do modules, I know how to do IOTA, I know how to do fucking all the newest shit, but if you ask me for a C-style string, I'm lost, okay? It's just, I just don't know. I know how to make font in my game before I knew how to make a C-style string. Isn't that stupid? C++, baby! This is why we worship the Council of C++, okay? We bow to their feet. We give them sacrificial lambs of all the Python people who just don't know how to program. We sacrifice this to you, Bajorkson. What a great man. I can't believe Python took Lex Friedman from us. Dicks. Jesus Christ. All your precious AI libraries are in C++, and you motherfuckers got Lex Friedman to learn Python. I can't believe. What a meme. I recently got Python on my company laptop. Prior was only given Excel. What? Imagine programming in Excel. What are you, 65? Jesus Christ. If I had to program in Excel, I think I would just spend my day making Pac-Man or something. My C++ only goes up to 11. I don't know if that's based or if that's like, you know what? If your C++ goes up to 98, I respect that, because at least you acknowledge that the original C is flawed, because fuck not object-oriented programming, okay? I know everybody's on like a trip right now for functional programming. They always come crawling back, okay? You people always need your 8th time inherited variable, okay? And guess what? C++ will welcome you with open arms, okay? Fuck your lambdas, okay? Gary, C++ has a lambda? Oh, does it? Oh, let's do a lambda. That'd be kind of fun. Auto? No. Fuck. I already forgot the syntax. What is it? Like auto, X, fucking bracket, fuck my shit up. Squirrely braces do this shit a lot. And squirrely brace. Something like that. Dude, lambdas and C++ are a joke. What about Rust? Listen, all right? There's questions you don't ask certain programmers, okay? Never ask a C++ programmer about Rust, okay? And never ask a Rust programmer how much money he lost in Bitcoin, okay? If we can make this agreement with each other, we're all good, okay? We all live in our own yards and we're all happy in blissful ignorance, okay? Type safety. I tell you what, if we were doing a banking program, I would consider it. We're making video games, bitch. Type safety is like the bane of speedrunning, okay? We like that shit. We want people to speedrun video games and hack the shit out of the game. Can't do that in Rust. You can do imperative in C. Joke's on you. I don't know what imperative is. Ha! I created C code in Notepad, dude. How much you lose in crypto? None, because I'm a C++ programmer, so I don't fucking invest in it. Sorry, invest, excuse me, gamble in it. Isn't C++ type safe? Exactly, just vibin'. We're type safe because our debugger is our eyes, okay? We don't need trash collection in our programming language. That's what the operating system's for. You think my game has a fucking closeout function that closes out all the SDL shit? All the stuff we initialize? Bitch. Oh no, our operating system collects that trash, baby. Our program runs fast. Mostly, unless you C-style cast, in which case it reinterpret casts. Yeah, we can reinterpret casts, that's true. Do I do it? If I have to. But that's the wonders of C++. Kind of just lets you do whatever the fuck you want, and I respect that. Because who else, listen, if your program fucks up your shit, okay? If your program just breaks your computer, okay, and you do it in C++, you cannot blame the language for that. That's not the language's fault. It's just like, listen, bro, you wanted it that way. It's like, holy shit. C++ is like your dick, okay? It'll never say no, but you should never always listen to it, okay? It's just like, it's like your yes man. It's just like, listen, buddy, we're in this to win this, okay? If you want to fuck shit up with your pointers, hey man, I'll help you do it, baby. That's what makes C++ great. But it's like, it's not like a 20-year-old dick. It's like a 65-year-old dick, where it's like it wants to, but it needs like a lot of help to catch up with all the kids, all right? Oh, we already know the secret mechanic of your game is to finish before you out of mana? Listen, I played too much Path of Exile, okay? I don't know what is. League of Legends, out of mana. What is Like coom? What? Variables you want captured, type, parameter, code. Or you can prototype a function like people have been doing for 50 goddamn years. Fucking lambdas. Get out of my yard. Loops, ranged for loop, okay? What is this? Whatever the fuck, I don't even know what you call this. The auto iterator loop. This shit. Gotta do this, all right? Before you do a lambda. Oh my God. People telling me lambdas are easy to read because they're in one line. Meanwhile, the one line is like 80 columns long. Yeah, okay, chief. And now the best lang is Dreambird. Lang? Oh my God, you're such a Python programmer. I can tell a mile away. You say lang instead of language? Like a weeb? Equals out of memory? Oh, no. We have, hold on, I can show you right now. We care about that. It's C++, baby. That's why we're making the engine. We can do shit like this. Okay, so services, sorry, details, elements, the remake. Look at that! 43,000 K memory. Easy peasy, boys. 43,400, not increasing. In fact, it's going down. Look at that. Fucking clean. Clean. All right? We're rocking it, baby. Discord, by the way, for reference, is taking like, oh God, how much is Discord taking? Well, Visual Studio is taking 600,000, so that's kind of annoying. I don't know, 10 times more than this game right now. So yeah, we care about memory. That's what C++ is, though. It's micromanaging memory, but that's fun. I like lambdas. Okay, but you're a better programmer than me, so suck my dick. The best code is on COBOL, then in A, then C. Do people actually like C, or is it because it's like it reminds you of like your mom's womb, where it's just like you feel safe and cuddly and you're like, I don't want to leave my mom's vagina? It's like is that what C is to programmers? I'm learning this, that people don't actually make programs in C, but they like playing with it. You know, they like the good old times. Discord is an Electron app, I'm pretty sure. The fuck is Electron? So it's running all of the Chromium? Ew. That's why I use Firefox. And I'm not this, listen, I'm not a poser, okay? I've been using Firefox for goddamn 15 years now, okay? I've been through it the worst, okay? It's like, imagine if you're a fan of a sports team, like the Firefoxes, back when they had like 1-win seasons, and then finally they start winning, and all of these posers, everyone comes out of the woodwork. I've been using Firefox this whole time. Like they don't have Chrome just eating all of their RAM in the background. C is a good language because its syntax is simpler. Well, why not just use C++ and use the same syntax? Like, just to be clear, there is nothing that C can do that C++ can't do better. You don't have to use the newest features. Guess what? If you want to use a struct in C, that exists. So like, struct fuck my life. Oh, there's your struct, okay? And you define it however you define it. So later on in the program, in C, by the way, if you want to call that struct, you have to type struct fuck my life, and you have to do that every time. You have to spell out struct. So these morons will be like, type def struct, no, fuck my life, struct fuck my life. I don't know how you do it. I don't know the syntax for you people. So they'll like replace this with this. Oops. So they can do this. And it's like, imagine doing all of this when you can just do C++ 98 shit. Oh my God, I couldn't imagine. Yeah, it's backwards compatible. You don't. You can type def the struct with an inline anonymous struct, or you can just use C++. Listen, okay? If you want to do C with classes, you can do that in C++. It's beautiful. It's so simple and it's clean. Now, are you gonna ask me to iterate through fucking complicated loops in C? Fuck no. I'll hate my life. I'd rather use a generator. But you can. You can. Don't like easy life? Well, I don't know. Can you imagine making a game in C and not C++? Like, ew. Blech. Like, if you ask me to make, like, a calculator, I'd rather do it in C, sure, but, like, oh my God. Making a video game and not C++? Ugh. When we talk about not using any of the features of C++, it's still just C at that point, but it's better. It's just better. Like, C with classes is better than C. Like, there's so many basic C++ features that I don't know if I could ever live without. Like, do we even use one recently? I'm trying to think of like a feature we've used recently. Like virtual classes. You guys don't have virtual classes in, you guys can't do this in C, right? Like, do you guys even want to make a video game, like a card game, without virtual classes? Holy shit. It does the exact same thing at that point. You can. Okay, hold on. You can do everything Python does in C++, you just don't do it. Is that like what we're talking about here? Or is it like a keyword like C++ where you just type virtual and everything's done? It's a struct with function pointers? Ew. I don't know, like C++ has unique pointers. Like we have standard, unique pointer, type, int pointer, F, whatever the syntax is. Like we can do RAII. I like that a lot. It's difficult for us because honestly, the only pointers we ever really find ourselves using is actually because we use a C-based library. So we have like renderer pointers, but to wrap it in an RAII is going to be obnoxious and a lot of extra syntax. But we could do it. It's just, C++ feature. We can wrap C-based header files in modules. Holy based. This is why C++ is the greatest programming language. I can wrap C-based libraries in C++ modules and just collapse the compile time. Enjoy your F++ in school? Nah, C++ will be here forever. Oh boy, that's almost a passing grade. Ah. Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether they could, they didn't stop to think if they should. I want to be a regex programmer? Yeah, how about I regex my foot up your ass, huh? Huh? Anyways, the feature set of C++ is it's got a lot of cruft with it. That's the argument why C is generally better liked. Yeah, but you don't have to use the cruft. Like, would you ever catch me dead doing something like, I don't even know. Hold on, we have CPP reference up. Also, we have CPP reference. Fuck your other programming language. This is the single greatest website to ever exist. What's like a antiquated thing everybody hates? What's like a feature everyone makes fun of? No. Weak pointer? Nobody uses a weak pointer, right? Maybe like ultra nerds? Initializer list is 1. What? C reference? Listen, I just controlled F initialization and I saw C reference down here. What the shit? Hey, you play second fiddle, kids. We got C++ up here to talk about. Oh, initializer list. There we go. An object of initializer list T is a lightweight proxy object that provides access to an array of objects of const T that may be allocated in read-only memory. An STD initializer list object is automatically constructed when... Chat, I should use this. I should unironically use this in this card game as a matter of principle, okay? I feel like I need to put my money where my mouth is. Initializer list. Can you IntelliSense? Oh my god. I bet we could do this. A brace enclosed initializer list is bound to auto using a ranged for loop, including an arranged for loop. A brace enclosed initializer list is used as the right operand of assignment or function call arguments. What's an example here? Constructed with a 5-element list, the vector now has 8 ints, ranged over brace initializer list. The list bound to auto is size. Oh, that's why you hate it. This is antiquated. It was replaced by I'm not looking at chat. I'm trying to think of it. Initializer list is replaced by, well, just lambdas, isn't it? Isn't this just like a really, really, really complicated lambda over like a vector? Why do you think nobody uses weak pointer? Because I thought unique and shared pointer would just solve all of the problems a weak pointer would. If you're gonna have a weak pointer, why not just use a regular C pointer? Unless it's like you have to take so much care of it. Like at that point, why not just use a C style pointer and just delete it, you know? Go old school. Unless you have like some company policy or something. It's going to be vector bool. Vector bool is fucking weird. Oh, no, that's easy. No, vector bool is based. Why does everybody hate vector bool? Hold on, what is this propaganda? Okay, vector bool. Okay, so everybody knows standard vector. Vector being a dynamically sized array that kind of handles its own memory. So if you give it 5 additional elements, it'll allocate its own memory. That's the point of it, right? A vector int contains elements of int, right? Vector bool kind of fools a lot of people because you would think, oh, it's a vector of Boolean values, right? That is not what it is. Vector bool is a bit, holy shit, I'm forgetting the name of it already. Is it bitwise? No, a bitwise operator would be like the vertical line. Fuck, what's the name of it? Bitmap? Bit something. Anyway, it's basically a set of digits of however many elements you want. Bitwise proxy, thank you. So it's basically a list of elements. It's like, have you ever seen standard bitwise? Standard bit? Whatever, there's a separate way to do it. But anyway, you have a bitwise operator and it has some values here and you can actually do a lot of really cool things with it. You can like make 1, you can make 1, 1, 0, and you can kind of iterate through. You can actually shift all of the elements to the left 1 repeatedly. I think that if you're gonna make a game like Snake in like as small of a value as you can, you use bitwise operators. That's how I would do it in my head. Yeah, literally no other language I know does that. Yeah, but what's the point? Like, why would you not want that? If you have a vector bool, you're basically wanting a bitwise operator. C++ is doing you a favor, okay? Just not having the cruft makes it feel cleaner. Yeah, I think vector bool's based. You have bitwise operators? Yeah, but this is C++ doing you a favor. It's like, okay, listen, kiddo. You can throw around pointers all day and not delete them and just have leaking memory, okay? I got no problem with that. But if you want to be inefficient by not using a bitwise operator with vector bool, I'm going to take care of that for you, kiddo. It's like C++ showing its giant, girthy, hairy dick, and it's just like, listen, I'll take care of you here. It's based, okay? You should be using a bitwise operator if you use vector bool, okay? Pointers have no part to bitwise. Wait. Hold on. I'm not using bitwise operator, right? It's not a bitwise operator. It is, bit set. Fuck. That's what I was thinking of. It's a bit set. Yeah, I'm sorry. Fuck. Okay. Now I remember. Standard bit set. Okay. Not a bitwise. A bitwise operator is like vertical line or verticals or and or something. Bit set operator. It's not that either. Yes, it is. Well, not technically, but it effectively is. It's a proxy object that contains the fields as single bits. Is that bad? What's the functional use of vector bool that would not be solved by doing that? Why would you want a vector of Boolean values that you do not want to just be like a bit set or something? Like, what's the point? Like, I'm trying to think of like what the benefit is of storing Boolean values like that. Pass a reference, return a reference as Boolean values? Well, at that point, why not just have a vector of whatever objects you're doing? Like, why not just have a vector of like the object you have and just have the object contain a Boolean value? And then just have card font 1 element 0 dot bool or something like that. Like, why not just do that? Like, if you really care that much to do it, you know? Yeah, so you can change it? Huh? The fact it's different is the reason it's stupid? Yeah, but like, what? Why? Why would you store only Boolean values? And not want that to be a bit set operator? What is the problem there? I'm trying to think of a use case. Pass a reference, but then you would just not use a Boolean vector, right? If you care about like object types, or if you want to point to it or something weird. But like, why not just use a bit set? I think you guys are making this overcomplicated. I think it's cool. I think it's awesome they have that feature. It just makes you a better programmer, you know? Sometimes you have things you need a bool and return a bool reference through something. I can't think of any. Well, I'm sure it exists. I'm not saying it doesn't. It's just I don't understand why you would care. Gary hot takes, Gary correct takes. Also, does anyone else think IntelliSense needs to like focus on modules? I know they're doing a lot, but do you realize how tired I am to see like a bunch of red squigglies for things that aren't actually squigglies? Like, this SDL quit is an enumerated value. It should be okay. And when I type it in, everything's like, IntelliSense is like, oh, now I get it. Yeah. It's an enumerated value. But I have to like retype it if I ever want to like not be bothered by it. And then it's like, oh, okay. Oh yeah. Okay, buddy. I got you. By the way, this is not like a wrap it in a module thing. This is like, even if I had like a header file of SDLH instead of a hashtag include, it's still the same issues. Just having modules in the file is fucking everything up. It saves literally like 7 bits. That's all. Yeah, but it's C++. 7 bits is like, chat, when you know what it is? Here's what it is. You guys want to talk about video games? C++ is the path of exile of programming languages, okay? It's like, oh, who only needs 0.5% more damage? I'm not gonna waste 30 minutes grinding content just to do 0.7% more damage. I'll be fine without it. You know what we call those people? Diablo 4 players, okay? You know what we call Diablo 4 players in the programming world? Python users, okay? There's nothing wrong with it. If you guys want to live in blissful ignorance, who am I to judge, okay? But when you need somebody to make your fucking build or make your DLL libraries for your precious AI, daddy's waiting, okay? We're here. We're sitting on the throne, baby, of all of the corpses of programming languages that tried to replace us. Remember D? Remember when everybody on Reddit was like, D's gonna replace C++? C++ is unsafe. D comes around, then it dies. We have our closets full. Not even closets. We display that shit. We have a bear rug where the bear is gonna be okay camel. I know there's a lot of people who are coping about what I just said, but you know it to be true. Okay. Oh my God, I'm so nasally. I'm so tired. Okay, that's it for today. I'm tired. All right. Tomorrow we're gonna make a tree. We're gonna make this. Not X'd out though. We're gonna make this tomorrow. I think that's the goal. I think we're gonna make a tree. I'm gonna look up on how to use standard generator correctly over the work tomorrow, and we'll try to implement it best we can. Worst comes to worst, we drop the whole Quanta idea with the tree, and we just have these, and we only use the tree for XY values. I think that's based. But we'll come back to it. That should be pretty easy, right? Because if everything at the endpoint is just checking an XY value or give an object and give the X. God damn it. Have an object go through the tree and just give back an XY value. That seems pretty easy to implement. I can't imagine that being an issue. So that'll be what we do tomorrow. That'll be fun. I'll look up research on my own, and that's everything today. So everyone, have a good night. Have a good evening. I stream every single day, baby. And I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully, I might be going on a date. Hold on, let me check my phone. Let me see what she says here. Okay, we might be hanging out tomorrow, so we'll play it by ear. If you want super details of last minute checks if I'm gonna stream or not, check out the Discord. Link is below the Twitch stream. So have a good night, have a good evening. See you later, everybody. Goodbye, give me kisses.